Talk podcast. I got a quick topic today, and this topic is called what the hell was that? The topic is called labels. How labels divide us and how labels separate us, right? I've been posting a few things on my page at Sun God Mazani, and Biden had just passed this law or working on passing this law. They want to pay all the immigrants. Um, I think it was 45. How much it was? 144,000. No, 450,000. Biden wants to pay the immigrants that were illegally taken away at the border of Mexico. They want to pay them $450,000. I said this is a slap in the face to Black America or the Black American people or African American people, whatever you want to identify yourself as. This is a slap in the face because we built this country, we've been here, and we still haven't received any type of reparations. Reparations, you know what I'm saying? Then they turn around and they said they going overseas and they're going to give the Israelites. Let me see. Am I mistaken? Let me just make sure. It says the U.S. to provide 144 million to Afghanistan and humanitarian aid. So, mind you, this is under the Biden administration. Y'all just cut out um, unemployment. Y'all just cut unemployment out. So no longer can we get unemployment. Y'all never ever gave us our proper share of reparations. Every other group of people got their reparations. We never got our reparations. We've been in bondage. We've been enslaved. We've been getting killed. We still getting killed to this day. We never received reparations. Reparations. Now, y'all giving the Mexicans, which is cool. Shout out to the Mexicans. Those my peoples too. I have problems with nobody who has a good heart. I love everybody, but I'm also going to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? There's some Mexicans out there that show love and love Black people. There's some Mexicans out there who are very, very, very racist, and they only stick with their kind. I don't blame them. You supposed to stick with your kind. You don't see hyenas chilling with lions. I say this all the time. You don't see hyenas chilling with lions. Does that mean you need to be an evil, bad person? No. You just know who you supposed to be with. You know who you're not supposed to be with. Anyway, back on topic. Uh, Mexicans are now receiving or about to start receiving reparations for what was done to them illegally at the border. $450,000. Now, Afghanistanians are about to receive $144 million in reparations for the things that America went over there and did to them people. Which is cool. Pay everybody their fair share. Whatever you did to these people that harmed them, y'all shouldn't be harming people no way. But whatever you did to these people and you harmed them, pay them their reparations. But what about Black people? Or what about African American people? Or what about Aboriginal American indigenous people who are indigenous to America? We've been here. They like to tell you in these history books that we came from Africa and we came over here. That's a lie. We've been here. Christopher Columbus didn't find nothing. When he came over here, he found out that we was already here. He didn't find and discover no land. We was already here. We already mapped the whole earth. Right? So I posted on my Instagram page. I'm going to read you what I posted verbatim. What I posted on the page was I said another slap in the face. Still no money for Black folks, huh? Every other people get paid but us. They will never pay us because they know we are gods. We can't sit and wait for their help. It will never happen. We have to help ourselves. This is facts. We waiting for the government to say, hey, you know what? We value you and we appreciate you. Here go your money. That will never happen. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. That will never happen. Um, we sitting back and we waiting for the government to say, hey, we're gonna stop killing you. That will never happen. Everything, like I always say in all my videos, everything was built on our backs. We make everything go viral. We come up with all the new dances. We come up with the fashion. We take everything as bad and we make it good. We in poverty. Our children are taught the worst education and they still come out on top. So imagine if we had money. They don't want their kids to be better. They don't want our kids to be better than their kids. We not in competition with them. They in competition with us. This is why they created the human race. Race is a competition. Race is a game. Race has nothing to do with the color of your skin or where you from or where you was born. Race is a competition. So the phrase human race automatically is telling you that you are in a competition with other people, right? Our problem is, as melanated people, black people, African people, whatever you want to call it, is we're in competition with ourselves. We hate ourselves so much that we always are quick to divide. So I wrote on a post, another slap. This is a another slap in the face. Still no money for black people. Somebody comes under the post and say, "Oh, why are you using the word black? The word black means pale. It means dead. It means X, Y, and Z." We know the etymology of what the word black means. But do you know that your ancestors fought to be called black before there was an etymology of that word? Before they figured out the etymology of the word, they fought to be called black. Because before then, they were called niggers. Then they were called colored. Then they were called Negro. But back in 1970, I think, 1960s, 1970, they fought to be called black. This is where you get the term Black Panthers. This is where you get the term Black Power. But y'all so hateful, instead of coming together and agreeing that we still never received no money, whether we was Aboriginals, African Americans, Moors, Black, Hebrew, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you want to identify as. If you had this color skin, you still did not receive no reparations. Reparations. And I don't care what group you say you affiliated with, I still haven't received reparations. Down to the Moors. I know a bunch of Moors. Shout out to the Moors. Shout out to the Moors. I got nothing but love for every group. I'm not getting on here bashing any group. I got nothing but love for every group besides the ones that's evil. The ones that are evil know who you are. Fire to you. I don't have love for you. Um, Shout out to the Moors. Shout out to the Aboriginals. Yeah, we file these paperworks. Yeah, we claim our nationality. Yeah, we go say we this, then the third, and we stand it on our square. But guess what? We still got to submit them documents to a white man. We still got to go submit them documents to their courts. Therefore, we're fighting a losing battle. Native Americans, you got people that are white that claim that they're Native American and they received reparations, but you got actual Native Americans who claim their nationality and haven't received nothing because it's not a fair game. They process the paperwork. All the courtrooms and judges and damn near 90% of them are white. They process the paperwork so they can approve and deny you at any time. It's discrimination. You think because you said you was a Moor on a piece of paper or you made up an ID card that said you was a Moor or Aboriginal that they going to stop killing you in the streets? You think when a cop pull you over and the cop say, "Let me see your ID," and because your ID say Aboriginal, he's not going to arrest you and not going to kill you? He's looking at your skin. That's the first thing he's looking at, and he's acting accordingly. He don't give a damn about none of them titles. He don't give a damn about how much paperwork you filed. He don't give a damn about how many classes you paid for with Jonah Bay and all these other brothers. Shout out to Jonah Bay, not to all these brothers. I'm not hating nobody. I'm just saying things. I don't hate nobody. People out there who watch my videos don't think I hate anybody. I'm talking. I'm conversing with you. This is not hate speech. They don't care about none of them documents that you filed in the courtroom. They are trained to kill you. They are trained to make you think that you have to walk with your head down in order to be accepted in society. Those police officers are trained that you are the enemy. No matter what paperwork you fill out, no matter what documents you got, no matter if you got a turban on, no matter what, as long as your skin is this complexion, you are the enemy. No matter if you black, African American, African, Moor, you claim to be a Jew, which we are the Jews, we are the original, we God chosen people. You claim to be a Hebrew Israelite, you claim to be a Christian. They don't know none of these groups. All these groups do is divide us. They divide us. The truth is, we need to get out their system. Nobody want to get out their system. The truth is, we need to get out their system. We holding on to these titles, or I'm a Moor, or I'm an Aboriginal, or I'm not black, or I'm not this, then a third. But we're going to work their jobs. But we're going to pay taxes to them. But we're going to spend our money in their neighborhoods at their shops. The black dollar stays in the black neighborhood less than 24 hours, less than a couple of hours. 80% of our money go to Jews, go to the white man to pay rent and the light, Go to the Chinese man and get Chinese food and alcohol and weed for our women and hair and fake nails and fake lashes. The rest go to video games or the gas station. The Indians, we don't get our money back. This is why we poor. This is why we losing the fight. We losing the battle because we keep fighting our own people about what name we should be called instead of realizing God goes by many names. It don't matter if you call God Allah, Jesus, Buddha, whatever. You still talking about that same spirit. God go by many names. So why are we so quick to divide and tell somebody they're wrong because they use the word? You don't realize that the word has no power. We give the word power. That's how language was created. If I say, I'm going to show you how language created. If I say, shlopala, that means nothing, right? But the more I say it and I put a definition behind it, now it means something. Therefore, I just created a word and put a meaning behind it. We are telling ourselves that the meaning they said is behind that word is the original meaning. No, we put meaning behind a word. This is how we could take the word bad. You know, bad means dangerous, dirty, nasty, disgusting, out of order. Bad means a number of things, right? But when we get that word bad and we flip it around and we use it, bad mean good in our books because they labeled us bad. So we took bad and we made it good. So when I see a shorty walking down the street, oh nah, shorty bad. Ooh, bad mean good. I mean, that means she looks good. Michael Jackson, he had a song, bad, I'm bad, you know it. Bad means good now. You see what we did? We took something that was negative and we made it into a positive. Transmutation. We take something that's bad and we turn it into good. We do this all the time. This is who we are. We have the worst neighborhoods. We have the worst education. We have the worst everything, but we always make something good out of ourselves with that. Whereas these people, white people, I'm not racist. I'm just telling the truth. White people are born in good neighborhoods, silver spoon in their mouth. All their kids is going to college. Their children are shooting up schools. How is that? Everything is good about them. Good credit scores, good jobs, good cars, good neighborhoods, good everything, and their children are shooting up schools. Whereas we live in bad neighborhoods, we have bad education, we have bad food, we have bad habits, we have everything is bad, but we take that and we turn it into something good. So why are we worrying about a word? A word. A word. Not actions. We worried about a word. We debating about a word. That's how confused we are. That's how much hate we have inside of us for our own people. We don't make sense. I don't give a damn if you call yourself purple. You look just like me and I look just like you. And you want to be called purple? Hey, listen, bring your purple behind on because we got to fight the fight. We got a battle to fight. Because they trying to kill your purple ass and they trying to kill my black ass and they trying to kill his Negro ass and they trying to kill his Moor ass because we all look alike. What y'all talking about? I did a video on the word black. If you go on my YouTube page, I did a whole hour video on the word black, right? Because I was that person at one point that was like, yo, I'm not black because black means dead. Black means blanco. Black means pale. Black means disease. But then I did more research. And I said, wait a minute. Why did our ancestors or the people in the 80s and the 70s choose to come out with Black Panthers? I was like, wait a minute. Why did they use the phrase Black Power? And they had a successful movement. What destroyed them is the government came and brought crack and drugs into the neighborhood and started killing off all the leaders, killing off all the alpha males or the alpha females. But during that movement of us being Black Power and Black Panthers, we had the most militant, disciplined men and women in the world. We had afros. We was loving ourselves. We was feeding our communities. We started the feeding programs. We started the after school programs during the Black Panther, Black Power movement. Now, the Moor movement and the Aboriginal movement, what can we see? What do we see? What do we see? I'm not throwing no shade. I'm not hating on nobody. I got Aboriginal friends. I got Moorish friends. I got Native American friends. Like I said, I'm just speaking truth. During the Black Panther, Black Power movement, you seen people loving themselves, educating themselves, putting their children through school, teaching them, homeschooling them, feeding them. We had after school programs. We was boycotting businesses that wasn't hiring us, that wasn't trying to uh, bring their money into our communities, but we put all our money in their communities. You seen this so much that the government had to bring in drugs and guns and violence to destroy us. You seen this during the Black Panther movement, the Black Power movement. You know the word that's so-called bad, black. Why are y'all emphasizing that this word black is so bad? I was one of those people. I'm like, yo, you're not supposed to call yourself black. Black is bad. Black. Bro, you giving black more power than you have. You giving the word black more power than you have. You give the word the power. The word don't give you power. You give the word power. The word don't give you power. Y'all not realizing that. That's trickology. They tricked you. They twisted you up. Okay, now if you look up law, they got the Black Law Dictionary, right? Uh, the word black in law, you can say it means a slave or it means somebody who has no rights. Whereas the word white in law means a free man or a free person. You can look this up and it will say that, right? So you got to call yourself white for you to be considered free, or are you considered free because you are considered free? Come on now. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all letting these words trick you. Yes, certain words have certain meanings, but at the end of the day, what do you feel it means? Do I gotta call myself white to be considered free? Because in the book of law, white is considered a free person. Who wrote that shit though? Did we write that or did they write that and we're still going off of their words? Think about it. Okay, I'm reading the comments. We got a brother on here. I am spiritual K. He said, "You're confused, brother. We ain't crayons. Private versus public." Okay, I get the whole private versus public thing. Nobody said you was a crayon. If you want to call yourself a color, that's on you. If you want to call yourself a Moor, that's on you. If you want to call yourself Aboriginal, that's on you. If you want to call yourself God, that's on you. Because you know what? You are exactly who you say you are. Why do you have to tell somebody else they wrong because they not saying what you said they are? You're not making sense. You're not making sense. That's like you saying that you a Christian and I'm saying I'm a Muslim and I'm telling you you're wrong because you're not a Muslim. That's division. Meathead, you're dividing. You're not looking at the bigger picture. You're taking a label and you're making the label more powerful than who you are. Okay, go to the private versus public thing. If you know about UCCs and you know about strawmans and you know about public and private and the money and the bank accounts and social security number, if you know about all this, you know what private and public mean. If you don't know about it, research it so you can understand what I'm about to get into because some of y'all don't even know what this stuff means. But you could be a private citizen and you could be a public citizen. They enslaved everybody through their birth certificates and through their social security number. We are actually human cattle. We are debt. You will always be in debt because what they did was they made you the debt. They gave you the social security number and promised to pay you back dollars or promissory notes. You could pull out a dollar bill. What I got in my pocket? I got a $20 bill, but this says the same thing on all money, on all paper money. It says this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. Right? What the fuck? What is all debts, public and private? What is that? What is all debts, public and private? That means all the debts that were made. This is debt. This is a promissory note. This is a IOU. This is basically, I don't have no money right now. I don't have no real resources like gold or silver or oil, but I'm gonna give you this piece of money and I promise to pay you back. That's all this is. It's a promissory note. It's not real. It has no value. It's a piece of paper, right? But it tells you on this instrument that this note is legal tender for all debts. So pretty much a $1 bill or a $20 bill is supposed to cover all your debts. No matter if you're a public citizen or a private citizen. What is a private? A public citizen is people that use their social security number given to them by the government. A public citizen is a slave, basically. because you don't know you a slave. You a business operating as a human, and they tax you. They throw you in jail based on contract law, based on UCC, based on all this stuff, and you don't even know it exists. Now, when you become a private citizen, you say, hold up now. I'm not playing this commerce game with you. I know how to stand on my square. I know business. I know law. I know contract. I know the Constitution. So you stand on your square, right? But at the end of the day, that shit still ain't get you nowhere. You think a cop gonna pull you over and ask to see if you a public or a private citizen? If a cop wanted to pull you over right now, no matter if you was a Moor, Aboriginal, public or private, the first thing he's looking at is your skin. You could try to tell him, hey, you're breaking the law, this and the third. The cop probably don't want to hear that shit today. He probably like, put your hands up. Show me your license and registration. You don't pull out a driver's license because you're a private citizen, right? You don't have a tag on your car because you're a private citizen. Whatever you do, whatever remedy you chose to use to make you a private citizen, you chose to exercise your rights and stand your ground as a private citizen. What if this cop is not buying that shit? You think that's going to stop him from shooting you because your skin complexion was different from his? No, he's going to shoot you. He's going to arrest you. And then you got to file a lawsuit and do all this fucking paperwork to try to exercise your rights. I'm not telling you don't do that. I'm not telling you don't study this law. I'm telling you, you do not bash your brother or tell your brother he's wrong because he don't do the same thing you do. We all in this fight together. Black, Moor, Jew, Hebrew, Israelite, Christian, Muslim, we all got the same skin complexion. We all dying. I didn't see you get no reparations. I didn't see you get no rights handed over to you. I seen you fill out a bunch of paperwork. Some of that shit works, some of it don't work. But I still see both of us still fighting the same fight. So why are we in competition with each other? Why are we in competition with each other? It doesn't make sense. Y'all gotta stop the self-hate. You gotta stop the self-hate. You gotta stop the self-hate. If you watch this documentary, right? It's a documentary called Summer of Soul. The documentary that came out is about it was the year I think it was the year Martin Luther King died or the year after Martin Luther King died. I think it was like 1968. Let me look it up real quick. 1969. It was around that time when Martin Luther King when all these people were dying. And New York was about to have a riot. New York was about to New York. See, back in the days, 1969, 1970, we wasn't playing with the government. Whenever they wilded out, we was turning up. We wasn't playing. And the government, New York City, did not want to have a riot because Martin Luther King just died. So they created the Summer of Soul. They created this concert in Harlem, New York. And they got all the best singers. Go watch this documentary. The shit gonna make you cry. I ain't gonna front. It made me cry. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, the documentary made me cry. They got all these different artists, poets from back in the days, the music your moms used to listen to. They got all the artists coming out there. This is one of the biggest concerts ever in New York. A whole bunch of beautiful, proud black people from all different walks of life, Spanish people, all of them, Latin Harlem, Spanish Harlem, Black Harlem. Everybody was out there. It was the most beautiful documentary. One of the most beautiful documentaries I've witnessed. And going into the documentary, I'm like, man, what is this about? Summer of Soul. But basically, it was a concert, 1969. They never released the footage. They had this big concert to stop the violence, to stop black people from protesting. All the singers and R&B artists and gospel artists came out at the time, and they performed, and they did their poetry. Nina Simone was there. It was a bunch of beautiful people there. It was beautiful. Y'all got to go watch this documentary. I'm telling you, you're going to cry. So, during the documentary, uh, they put in a newspaper, they put Negro artist or Negro. They kept using the word Negro. Now this is around the time the Black Panthers was out. They kept using the word Negro in all the newspapers. So one of the women who worked at the newspaper station, she was a black woman. She changed the word from Negro to black. She like, yo, you're not calling us Negro no more. We don't want to be called Negro no more. Y'all grandparents went to the news station, went to the newspapers and told them they don't want to be called Negroes. Stop calling us Negroes. We want to be called black. These are your grandparents. They fought and died for this shit. It's in the documentary. They got footage, they got evidence, they got actual people getting arrested fighting because they wanted to be called black. But y'all sitting up here arguing about the word black or the word Moor or the word Jew or the word Aboriginal or who was here first. None of that shit matters. Only thing that matters right now is the war that we in. What are we doing? Why are we still participating in a matrix? Why haven't we taken all our money and left all these jobs and got some land and huddled up and got an army? We will never win this war until we get an army, until we get militant, until we start feeding ourselves, until we start educating our children. Anything else, you're fighting a losing battle. Anything else, you're just playing yourself. You're just playing yourself. Because if any one of these groups, right, Aboriginal, Moors, Hebrew Israelites, Nation of Islam, if any one of these groups had all the pieces to the puzzle, why aren't they free? Why can't they stop dying by police? Why are they still getting locked up? Where's their land? Why all of us are still in bondage? Why none of us got reparations? Exactly, because we all trying to say who got the most information or who got the right guard when we're missing the bigger picture. We are divided. United we stand, divided we fall. The more we stay divided, the more they will conquer us. The more the Chinese man could come in and get reparations and get laws passed. The more the Indian man could come in and get reparations, get law passed. The more the transgenders, the more the gays, the more the Mexicans, the more everybody else could start moving up in America but us. Because we so busy trying to prove each other wrong. It doesn't make sense. You are doing exactly what they want you to do. Confusion, distractions. You're promoting that. Now, I'm not telling you don't go research. Yes, research. Yes, go study. Go study the more. You hear me. I am well equipped to talk to a Moor, to talk to an Aboriginal person. I'm equipped to talk to a Hebrew Israelite. I'm equipped to talk to a Muslim. I'm equipped to talk to all these brothers because all these brothers have a piece of the truth. I'm not saying y'all are wrong. Y'all all have a piece of the truth. But what we don't have is unity. Study all of them. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. The judges don't care if you say you are Aboriginal, if you are Moor, if you are black, if you are African American. Do you got an army? Do you got an army? Do you have a police? Do you have land? Do you have schools? Oh, you're just another number. You're just another slave. And that's how they look at you. Y'all might think y'all doing something because y'all trying to be better than your own people. Y'all trying to be better than your own people. But they look at all of us as the same. Okay. Let me go into the comments. Okay, I am Spirit Talk. He's the one that's really commenting. He said the laws are unconstitutional. Yes, I agree with you. The laws are unconstitutional. But what's stopping us? The no, he said the laws, the courts are unconstitutional. My bad. He said the courts are unconstitutional. Yes, I'm agreeing with you. The courts are unconstitutional. They are breaking the law. They are not in their jurisdictions to do anything that they're doing. But what's stopping them from doing it? We ain't together. You think you going down there and you filing your one paperwork is going to stop them from doing that when they got 99% of the black people or the population still confused about who the hell they are and what they stand for? That's not stopping them from doing what they're doing. So yeah, you might get through with a little paperwork here and there whenever they want. Even that's a battle, but you might get through here and there, but they still doing it. Why? Because they got an army. They got police officers. They got firefighters. They got politicians. They got everything they need to enforce their game and enforce their laws. And if you get out of line, they throwing you in jail. Stop worrying about their laws and this, that, and the third and their courtrooms when we have nothing to fight with. We have nothing to fight with. We have nothing to fight with. You telling me their laws are unconstitutional, their courtrooms are unconstitutional, but if they send you a summons in the mail right now, you got to take your ass to court or their police officers is coming to lock you up. Facts or no facts. You don't have an army to say, hey, no, you're not coming to get this brother. We standing on our ground. You can't just go get a judge. You can't just go citizens arrest a judge. You can't go just citizens arrest a police officer, but the police officer can arrest you whenever they want, no matter who the hell you think you are. No matter if you are Moor, Black, African, American, Jew, Indian, they're arresting you whenever they want. They have an army. So y'all got to get your head out of, I'm black, I'm Moor, I'm this, I'm that. Get your head out of that shit. That shit is cool. I'm not telling you don't study your paperwork. Study your shit. But realize we need everybody. We need all our people to fight this battle. We need everybody to disengage from this matrix, quit their jobs, quit going to their educational systems, their institutions, because they're institutionalizing us. They're not teaching us. They're teaching us how to be slaves. They're not teaching us how to be leaders and be men and be women. They're teaching us how to be workers and work for the rest of our lives and be slaves. We got to teach our own people. We got to get schools. We got to get land. We got to get guns. We got to get our own food. Now we fighting. You got to hit them where it hurts. You got to hit them in their pockets. If you stop spending your money with these corporations, with these businesses, with other races that don't appreciate and respect you and value you, you stop spending your money with them, now you fighting. The more you keep talking to your brother about he's a Moor and he's a Jew and he's black, you're fighting yourself. Wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell it. Like I said, the most impact we had on the world after slavery was when we were Black Panthers. That's the most impact we had. That's the most impact we had. The Moors is out right now. Where's their army? The Aboriginals is out right now. Where's their army? The Muslims is out right now. The Muslims is doing the only nation doing something right now is the Nation of Islam, and I'm gonna keep it funky with you. Even though they ain't doing enough, even though I still feel how I feel about the Nation of Islam, I still feel like the Nation of Islam is somewhat co-opted. I feel like they get a pass from the government to, preach their Quran. I just like the same thing with the churches, with the Christians. I feel like the churches are businesses. The government allows them to do that and give them little tax breaks, but they can't cross the line. The moment they cross the line is when they start to send the army in. Nation of Islam ain't crossing no line. The Christians ain't crossing no line. The Black Panthers was crossing the line. They was breaking down barriers. They got their own healthcare. We invented healthcare? Black Panthers invented healthcare. The government stole that from Black Panthers. We invented healthcare. We invented child care services. We invented after school programs. We invented all of that. We were making too much noise. We were militant. We was reading. We was researching. We was showing love to every Black person we seen. We was making sure Black women and children were getting home safe. We was on the corner protecting our corners and neighborhoods. We was making noise. What kind of noise we making right now? We going viral on the internet for dances and TikToks. We going viral on the internet for rap songs and dances and TikToks. We going viral for that. But what are we doing to help our people? You got some of the most millionaires, Black millionaires right now. They take their money and go do what? Give it right back to the white man. Give it right back to the so-called Jewish man. Anything with ish on the end of it is something like it's fake, it's artificial. So if I say you're childish, I'm not calling you a child. I'm saying you acting like a child, right? If I'm saying you foolish, I'm not saying you a fool, but I'm saying you acting like a fool. So if you call yourself Jewish, that means you're not a Jew. You're acting like a Jew. We the real Jews. We God's chosen people. That's what Nick Cannon went on the air and tried to say, and they canceled all his shows. Made him apologize, made him bow down, and he went back out there and did that shit. Suckers. We are suckers. The moment they threaten our money, our security, our families, our businesses, our followers, we turn into suckers. When we was Black Panthers, we was dying for what we believed in. You couldn't punk us. You couldn't bribe us. You couldn't make us sell our brothers out. They had to bring in crack cocaine to destroy our communities, to destroy our leaders, to destroy the elders. You got Black Panthers that are still locked up to this day because they was such a threat to white America when all they was trying to do was feed and educate their children. That's it. That's it. So, my message today is all these labels divide us. I don't care what you claim yourself to be. Be it. We need you. We need the Moors. We need the Aboriginals. We need the Hebrew Israelites. We need the Muslims. We need the Christians. We need all of y'all. Practice what you believe in, but practice unity. Practice loving your brother and respecting your brother because he don't believe in what you believe in, but y'all got the same mission. Y'all getting killed by police and y'all not getting your fair share in America. That's what you need to believe in. You need to believe in unity. All them other gods and titles and shit that y'all been praying to and working on for all these years that ain't been working. How about believing in unity? How about believing in sticking together? Give a fuck about no public or private. You think the judge give a fuck about a public or private? They created that game just to watch you try to fucking play it. They created that bullshit ass game to watch you try to play it. They don't give a fuck about no public or private. They don't give a fuck about a Moor, a colored person. If they don't care about none of that shit, whenever they want you gone, you're gone. Because you have no army. You have no unity. This one analogy right here. One drop of water can wet you and it really does no damage. You can wipe that drop of water off. But if an ocean, ocean is millions and millions and millions of drops of water. If an ocean wets you and swallow you up, your ass is gone. Same thing with our people. If one person say they are more and try to claim their nationality, that shit don't matter. They don't give a fuck. But if all of us is on the same exact page and we storm the courthouse, so we leave their system and we take our money out their system, they will crumble. They will crumble. Go watch the documentary Summer of Soul. You know what made me respect uh 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 I was born into a Christian home, right? My mother was Baptist Christian. Her mother was Baptist Christian. Her mother was Baptist. That shit was passed down. So I was born believing that I was a Christian. It's not something that I wanted to be or I was born into it. I thought it was natural. I thought it was normal because when I was born, my family was already practicing it. That's no different from a Muslim being born into his religion. He don't know that there's something else out there until he leave the house and start going to school and start seeing, hey, people worship Jesus or people worship Buddha. But in his household, they worshiped Allah, right? When I watched Summer of Soul, well, when I got eight, let me get back to this. I hated going to church when I was a child. I always wanted to stay home and play basketball or play on the block with my friends and video games. I hated going to church. I don't know. I didn't know why, but I hate going to church. I used to cry. My mother used to beat me. Get your ass in the... Used to beat me, right? Not saying she was abusive. My mother, I love my mother. She was getting me. If it wasn't for them ass whoopings, I probably wouldn't be the man who I am today. I know y'all like taking things out of context. Y'all gonna be like, oh, Mazzani's mother was abusive. No, the fuck she was not. She was a mother. She was a black mother in America. 7 kids by herself. All right. So I hated going to church though. My grandmother used to try to get me to go to church. Everybody used to try to get me to go to church. I hated going to church. I got locked up when I was 18 years old for something I did not do. I'm in jail. I'm around a bunch of gang members, all types of stuff. They had a church in jail. One of my homeboys in jail was like, yo, Green, let's go to church. I'm like, nigga, fuck out of here. I'm not going to church, nigga. I'm in jail. Fuck God. God got me in this situation. I didn't do nothing. That was my mentality. That's how I was thinking, right? He was like, yo, come on, bro. Like, why you so angry? Like, you already here. You might as well at least try to pray, try to get yourself out the situation. And when he said that, I was like, you know what? You right. I give it a try. I'm already in jail. I don't have nothing else to lose. I'm already in this motherfucker, right? So me and him go to church one day in the jail. A lot of people turn Christians and Muslims and all that shit in jail because they have nothing to lose and they feel like, you know what, if they give their life to God, God will help them get them out of jail. That shit don't work for everybody, but it worked for me. So boom, they had the temple. You could go to Bible study on Wednesday. It was they like worship and praise on Wednesday, and then on Sunday was actual service. So we go to the service. It's Sunday. We go to the temple, and it's this lady in there. It's this man in there. I guess he's the preacher, and she's like the first lady, or whatever the case is. And there's a whole bunch of gangsters. Everybody in there, gangsters, all different type of people in there. And this lady in there just praising and worshiping God, going crazy, sweating. I'm like, what the fuck? Do this lady know she around inmates? Like, do this lady know she around people that possibly did the wrong thing? But she didn't care because she saw the good and the beauty in them. She didn't care about what they called themselves. She didn't care if the judge said they was guilty. She didn't care if they actually committed the crime. She did not care. Her whole purpose was to make people realize that there is a God. And I'm watching her and I'm like, wow, this lady is really into this shit. I'm talking about she's jumping up and down. She's hallelujah. She's going crazy, sweating. She giving all the inmates these big ass sweaty hugs. She came up to me and gave me a big ass sweaty hug. I'm like, God damn, I'm wiping sweat off my face. But it was what I needed. I was in jail for like 6 months before I got a hug. A real loving, I don't care if you innocent. I don't care if you guilty. I'm hugging you because I want to hug you and I want you to feel this love type of hug from a black woman in jail. And that shit made me believe that, wait a minute, God is real. Because if this lady don't know me from a hole in the wall, she don't even know if I committed this crime, and she was able to hug me with that much love and make me feel warm, I'm coming to church every goddamn Sunday. And that's what I did. For the rest of my time, I was locked up. I went to church every Sunday and Wednesday. Now I'm in the Bible. I'm reading the Bible. I'm reading all types of shit in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying now. I'm fucking praying. My mother couldn't get me to pray when I was young, 14, 13, 11, and she used to force me to go to church. Now I'm in jail. Here it is. This lady hugged me one time and I'm fucking praying. When I got locked up, my whole attitude was fuck God. I don't believe in God. He got me in this situation. Why he ain't get me out? He know I ain't do this shit. By the time I left jail, I knew God was real. And it had nothing to do with Christianity. It had nothing to do with any religion. It was because I was invested into feeling that warm feeling again. I wanted to feel that love again. If I had to go through the Christian doors to feel that love, then so be it. But I wanted to feel that love and that security and that everything is going to be all right again. It had nothing to do with Christianity, right? So boom, I get out of jail. Mind you, I'm praying every day. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm on trial. The same dude who told me that I need to go to church, he came to me one day. He said, yo, Green, mind you, I'm still in jail. He said, yo, Green, God came to me in my dreams and he said, if you want to go home, you got to go on a 7-day fast. I looked at this nigga. I said, man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, I said, all right, you taking this shit too far now. What the fuck is you talking about? I said, bro, I'm already praying. I'm already going to church. I'm still in jail. Like, why, like, what you talking about, bro? Why God ain't come to me in my dreams and tell me that I need to fast? He's like, I don't know, bro. God work in mysterious ways. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. So boom, I'm in the whole. I'm in my cell. They let us out so we could eat. The CO out of nowhere wanted to pick a fight with me. The CO is like, yo, Green. I'm like, what? They call me by my last name in jail. My last name is Green, like the color. He's like, yo, Green. I'm like, what? He like, take out the trash. I said, what? I said, bro, listen to me. You take out the fucking. I'm not taking out no trash, nigga. Y'all kidnapped me. I'm not. I don't get paid to be here. I'm here against my will. I don't work here. You work here. You take that shit out, nigga. So then the CEO come up to my face. Now we face to face. Me and the CEO about to fight. So as soon as me and the CEO about to fight, the captain walk in. I know this is a long story, but I'm gonna wrap it up, and you're gonna see what I mean by the time I finish the story. The captain walk in, and the captain walks in and say, "Oh no, what's going on?" And she ended up moving my housing area. They moved me now to another housing area. with whole new gang members. Now I got to get to know these dudes and introduce myself and see who trying to, you know what I'm saying, fight and all that. It's stressful in jail. So when she moved my housing area, they took all my commissary, they threw all my honey buns, they threw all my noodles, my tuna fish, they threw everything in the trash. And I just started trial. When you start trial, if anybody been in Rikers Island and been on trial, you know you got to get up early in the morning, get on a bus 6 o'clock in the morning. You handcuffed to somebody else. You in court all day. You probably don't you probably don't get back to the housing area till like 9 o'clock at night. You don't get back to the jail till about 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. So by the time you get back, they're ready to serve the meals. They're giving you bread with cheese on it. Oh, 1% milk. The food is disgusting. It forced me to go on a fast for 7 days. I didn't even know I was fasting. I didn't even know I was fasting for 7 days. On the seventh day of my fast, the judge said not guilty. Bang! I was acquitted of all charges. I was able to go home. My family in the background jumping up and down. Oh, praise God. You know, I got a church for my mother and they Christians. So only thing that played in my head was you got to go on a fast for 7 days. That's the only thing that kept playing in my head was you got to go on a fast for 7 days. You got to go on a fast for 7 days. So the universe, God, whoever put me into the position, even when I didn't want to, put me into position to fast so I can cleanse my spirit, so I can connect with a higher power or my higher self so I can get out of jail. Even when I didn't want to do it. Even when I didn't want to do it. And you know why? Because when I was in jail and I was sincere about my praying and I was sincere about my reading and trying to, better my life, I found peace while I was in jail. The craziest goddamn story. I was at peace in jail. I don't think I've been home. I was locked up 2008, 2009. We in 2021. How many years is that? Fucking like 13, 14 years. How many years is that? 2009, 2021. Whatever. How many years it is, I'm not doing math in my head right now. But I was locked up for 10 plus years. I mean, not 10 plus years. I was home for 10 plus more years. Almost like 14, 15 years probably. Whatever. And I haven't been that peaceful since I was in jail because when I was in jail, I found out that God is inside of me. And I was happy with whatever the decision was, whether I was guilty or whether I was not guilty. If the judge and the jury found me guilty, I was happy. If they found me not guilty, I was happy because I found out that God resides inside of me. I found out that God lives inside of me. And once I found that out, it was like I was in heaven already. It was like I was already in heaven. And then the fast complemented that. And then boom, I was home. So the whole moral of the story is it don't matter what doors you go through. Am I a Christian now? Hell no. Because when I came home, I started reading the Bible more and I started seeing things didn't add up. This shit don't make sense. So now I'm questioning preachers. I'm questioning other preachers and they telling me not to question God. And it wasn't making sense. And I started doing more research and I started researching the Quran and I started researching the Buddhists and I started researching the Hindus. And I said, wait a minute, all this shit is a fucking puzzle. Everybody just got a piece of the truth. It's not one truth. It's a whole truth, and everybody got a piece of the truth. I kept graduating. I kept elevating. Some people in the church, they stay there. They just listen to the preacher preach the same message over and over and over. I'm not with that shit. I got to hear something new. It got to make sense to me. You're not going to just read me a passage, and I'm going to just say, okay, well, Jesus is going to come and save the day. Fuck out of here. That ain't how I operate. I had to keep studying. I had to keep growing. We stopped studying at a point. We get comfortable with what we learned and we think we know it all. And then we start to bash our brothers thinking that we know it all when the truth is everywhere. It ain't just one truth. The truth is everywhere. I can go in a Muslim church. I can go in a Christian church. I can go to a Buddhist church. I can go to I can go to all these different churches and find God because I know God was never in the church. God was inside of me the whole time. That's the shit that y'all missing. God don't give a fuck that you call yourself a Moor. God don't give a fuck that you call yourself an Aboriginal. God don't give a fuck that you call yourself Native American. God don't give a fuck if you call yourself Negro, black, colored, blue, pink, yellow. Do you know where God is located? Do you know how to access God? That's all that really matters at the end of the day. That's all that really matters. And I got the button. I got the beat button. I wasn't even hitting the beat because I cursed a lot. But y'all got this. Y'all got the message. Y'all got the story. Y'all got the point. These labels and these titles and these names and these religions, they separate us. They make us forget the real picture. It's no different from the Bloods and the Crips and the Latin Kings and the MS-13s and the GD. It's no different from these gangs. It's no different. Stop focusing on labels. Stop focusing on words and start focusing on unity and actions. Because without that, you're going to be saying the same shit until you 60. Oh, I'm a Moor. Huh. Nigga, you stupid. What you talking about? If you were more, then what's up? Where the pudding? Where the proof in the pudding? Why we ain't got X, Y, and Z yet? Why we ain't doing this? Why you ain't linked with me and we do this? Because that's what them niggas stood for. That's what more stood for. More results. More rules. Y'all just a bunch of people gathering information and y'all think y'all better than somebody now. No, that's not what it is. So back to that documentary, right? The Summer of Soul. This is the last point. I promise you, this last point and I'm out. So the Summer of Soul. They had a part in the documentary. Y'all gotta go watch this shit. I'm telling you, it's gonna make you cry. It's beautiful. It was a beautiful documentary. And I thought the shit was just gonna be some artists singing songs. No, I ended up crying at the end of this documentary. Right? So they had a part in the documentary where they had gospel singers come up and start singing gospel. And I'm like, oh, here they go with this Christian shit, this slave mentality shit. But then they started breaking down the history of gospel and the history of Christians. And then that's when I started to gain respect for Christians. Like I said, I was born into a Christian home. I was forced to go to church. I hated going to church. When I got locked up, I started going to church. When I got out of jail, I stopped going to church because I started finding out, like, man, this Bible is man-made. This shit is fake. A lot of these stories is fabricated. You know what I'm saying? But when I watched the Summer of Soul documentary and I seen how the slaves used to use gospel in them songs to heal their families, to help them have faith, to help them fight through the pain and the plantation shit and all the shit that was going on the plantation, I said, whoa. We never experienced no shit like that. I'm 31 years old right now. I don't know nothing my grandmother went through as a child. So if that's all she had to help her get through was to sing them goddamn songs and they was getting lynched, they was getting beat, you had to walk in packs. If you walked home by yourself, you was getting caught and hung. You don't know what none of that shit feels like. All you could do is read books on that shit. You was not there. So when you watch that documentary and you actually see the soul and you see the spirit in them people and how they was singing them songs and why they was dancing and when you go to church and people doing them that dance and you see where it originate from, you like, whoa, this shit is spiritual than the motherfucker. That shit was spiritual. But we start to think we better than everybody. And no, I'm not a Christian. No, I don't claim Christianity. But at one point, Christianity was my teacher and it got me through certain doors. It got me to the point where I'm in right now. These religions, these titles, these names are supposed to help you get through doors. You never go through one door and just stop and think you found it. You didn't find it. Life keeps going, which means you got to keep going. You got to keep elevating. You got to keep growing. You got to. All of that shit is our history. Muslim, Christianity, Native American, all that shit is our shit. Which means if somebody's a Native American and you are more, y'all still the same goddamn people. If somebody call himself black and you call yourself Aboriginal, y'all still the same motherfucking people. We not the enemies. They the enemies. They trying to kill us. But we choose to fight with ourselves over names, over religions, over titles. Y'all gotta wake up and smell the coffee, man. Y'all gotta wake up and smell the coffee. Until then, every race, because like I said before, the word race means competition. Human race means a human competition between people. Human race means a competition between people. So every race that doesn't look like you will beat you every time. And it will get ahead and you will be the last person in last place because you have no unity with your people. Black women, y'all take 90% of y'all money, y'all give it to the Chinese people, y'all give it to the Indian people, y'all give it to everybody else except for your own people. Black men, y'all get money, y'all get rich, y'all get famous, y'all go get y'all a white woman, y'all take y'all money, y'all go to the jeweler, y'all go get y'all a fancy car, give it right back to the white people, which is why we have nothing. And we will continue to have nothing until we start practicing unity. This your boy Sun God. I'm tapping out. Wait, hold on. Before I tap out, let me look at some of these. The documentary is called Summer of Soul. I'm looking at the comments now. It's called Summer of Soul. I'm telling you, it was an ill documentary. I didn't expect that from that documentary. The documentary was about, I think it was the year Martin Luther King died, and people in New York was about to riot. So they stopped them from rioting by having this big concert. They brought out all the celebrities, the singers at the time. You know, that's when music was real music. You know what I'm saying? And they had Nina Simone, they had poets out there, they had everybody out there, and they was going through history. They was going through how it went from the word Negro to the word Black. They were showing how the Christians, they were showing just how different people and different race. It was ill. You gotta watch this shit. It made me cry. Maybe I'm just a crybaby. I don't know, but y'all gotta check it out. So this your boy Sun God. Make sure y'all share this live with your people. Follow me on my backup page at God Talk. That's the podcast. You can follow us on YouTube at God's Talk, Facebook at God's Talk. I appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with me. How long it been? It been like an hour. Yeah, we've been on here for 56 minutes. It's been like an hour. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all got the information that we need to stick together. That's the only fight, is us not sticking together. Anything else is pointless. You know what I'm saying? So I'm tagging out. It's your boy Sun God. Peace.